25x squared minus 30x plus 9. Guys, take a minute, try this one out. The first way that I'm going to do this, because I'm actually noticing on this one, okay? I see 25, the x squared, that's good too. And then the 9, those are perfect squares, okay? So let's look at what those are perfect squares of. So 25x squared, if I were to square that, that would have been from a 5x, because 5 squared is 25, x squared is x squared. And then 9 came from a 3 that would have been squared, right? Now, is the negative 30, is that the same as 5 times 3 times 2? I don't really care if that it's minus. That doesn't bother me at all. But yes, it is. 30 is 5 times 3 times 2 and the x. So this means that I could have just taken this, and I would have known that since it was a minus sign here, that it would have been a minus sign in my difference of squares here. Maybe I'm using the wrong terminology, but I also don't care. So that's 5x minus 3 to the power of 2, and that's pretty good, okay? Now, if you wanted to focus on factoring by grouping, you would have done it like this. Let's see if I can give myself more space. There we go. There we go. All right, so here, you look for any greatest common factors you can factor out, which there are none. So now we would take the leading coefficient 25, and in this case, the constant 9, multiply these together to get 225. Now, skipping a few steps, the two numbers that you would multiply together to get 225 that adds up to negative 30 would have been negative 15 and also negative 15. So our negative 30x splits up into negative 15x's and also negative 15x's. And then we have 25x squared minus 15x minus 15x, and then plus 9. And then we'd do factoring by grouping, right? Which is kind of the whole point of this, this strategy that we're doing the second time. Looks like I can factor out from that parentheses a 5x. It's better x, kind of. 25 divided by 5 is 5. X squared divided by x would just be x. And then minus 15 divided by 5 is 3. The x factored out. Now we'll factor the second group. From there, I can factor out a negative 3, right? Because we want to factor out the negative because it was minus 15x. And then what's left over on the inside? Well, negative 15x divided by negative 3 would have been 5x. And 9 divided by negative 3 would have been negative 3. So you can see this is already kind of panning out the same way. You got 5x minus 3 factored out from both terms, and then you have left over a 5x minus 3. Now, some students are like, well, Sal, that's different. These are different. They're not. This is just the expanded form of this exponential form. So it is actually still the same. So this middle term right here, if you're going to use this method, should be 2 times a times b. The a I found was 5x. The b was 3, so 2 times 5x times 3 would have been negative. Again, I don't really care about the negative, actually. It would have been 30.